Happy Monday and welcome back to the vlog. This is going to be episode 5. I am a little less than 8 weeks out from the Oklahoma show and a little less than 12 weeks out from this year's fitness Olympia. We are here at destination. I did my fasted cardio this morning. I am going to be training back.
Legs.
Today and yesterday have been hard to say the least. I feel like I am running on fumes. Not necessarily, low energy. I'm not super hungry or anything like that. The past 2 nights I just haven't slept well. I started to get some congestion and I've just been waking up throughout the night, and anyone who knows me knows that I always say like anything less than 8 hours isn't enough because I'm a gremlin. So definitely feeling it today, just being tired. Woke up this morning and I still did my cardio, but just low energy.
That you do, unfortunately. But you'll wake up when you start training, I feel like.
Yeah, it's definitely just part of the process. Like, I think sometimes it's, what's the saying? The worse you feel, the better you look. So that's the mentality I'm going for right now. I just tell myself my body is literally burning fat and that's why I'm tired.
Well, I got a question. How do you stay motivated when prep starts getting tough? Like, what do you, mentally or physically?
I think motivation is great. You're gonna get motivated. You're gonna watch a movie and be motivated, or listen to David Goggins and like want to run through a wall. And yeah, those things are true too. Like, you feel really pumped up sometimes. Like last week I was on that imminent team call and I felt like I could run through a wall like after.
Oh yeah,
but
I heard that part. Motivation
can be fleeting, especially when you're tired. And I think even just like in the first David Goggins books, he's like talks about like everyone's motivated like when you're at home, like warm in your bed and everything's going great. But like when the alarm goes off at 4 a.m. and it's raining outside, you don't want to lace up your sneakers and go for a run. And that's the difference between like being motivated and being disciplined to say, I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. So for me, it's that fine line of like today, for instance, like I'm not motivated to be here, but I'm disciplined with myself enough to know that this is what I told myself I would do. I'm following my plan, and it's follow the plan, not the mood kind of thing. So you're gonna feel motivated at times, but you're not always gonna feel motivated. And I think that goes for anything. When you're chasing something, when you're working towards a really big goal, and there's no like, I work on this for 5 days and I get an immediate payoff. Like, you're working towards something for like, for this prep, it's, weeks, but like when you think about it, it's like years of my life I've been working for this. Yeah. So just understanding that you're not always going to be like, yay, I want to go lift and I want to do my cardio and I want to do these things. Like, it's just, there's down times too.
And you have like a picture of what you want to look like and what your routine wants to look like on stage. You want to keep that in the forefront?
Yeah, I try to. So whenever I'm doing my HIIT cardio right now, I like to listen to last year's Olympia prejudging, and it's literally just telling myself like, I'm going to be standing there in the final call out in the top 2 spot, hopefully top 1 spot, and just like pushing myself, like looking at my physique, looking at Missy's physique, looking where I can improve and like what the standard for the division is. And that gets me pretty, like, that's something that helps keep me motivated. And then as far as routine goes, like even this morning when I was doing fasted cardio, I probably did the first 20 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes of my cardio, I just watched my routine over and over, and I'm just picking it apart, like things that I want to improve, or things that I'm just like telling myself, but like mental cues, like, okay, you did that good there, like keep it like that. Or when I'm trying different things. So I love to, sometimes it's crazy, like I'll start watching the routine and my heart rate's just like, but yeah, other than that, it's Monday. Tomorrow I have a photo shoot. My friend's coming into town this weekend, so that'll be fun and exciting. And my goal for today is to be in bed by 8 p.m. So we have to go lift because I need to go to sleep.
Sounds good to me.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 23rd. It's about 10 a.m. here in Dallas. I've already done my fasted cardio, legs, and been working for a couple hours. So I am now out walking my dogs and just getting my steps in. Today is mostly just going to be a work day, and then I have physical therapy later this afternoon. So again, I just didn't want to be in a rush to get to or have to train late at night with having to do legs on a Wednesday. And I did check in this morning. I will stick my check-in right here. I was 134.4, which I was really hoping to hit a new low, but I definitely can still see my physique improving. So I'm happy about that. I'm trying not to like concentrate so much on the weight because that's not my job. It's Justin's job. So as long as he's happy, I'm happy. We did decide to start including my waist measurement in my check-in just because my waist is shrinking and I love it. So this morning it was 25.25 inch, and we have about 7.5 and 11.5 weeks out from the Olympia. So I'd like to try to see that waist get down to under 23 inches for Olympia. Would be like ideal. Like that would be awesome. Yeah, so not a lot going on today, or I've already done 90% of what I need to get done today. And sometimes it's just like finding those pockets of energy and prep, kind of like I talked about last week, of just like, I needed to do legs today. I had physical therapy this afternoon. I decided to wake up extra early to be able to eat, train, do everything I needed to do so that I can get everything done. And that's just part of the prep. But I feel good about everything. And yeah, I will see what kind of pops up for you guys this week. Barking at me? You silly boy. Let's see what this looks like here. Nuts. For 11 weeks out, fuck. Okay, so I've been really awful at filming this week, and part of that's just prep got real busy, you know. Felt like I had something going on every day. And then Friday, I got to pick up Jess from the airport. So yesterday was just, I feel like, just packed full, but I do have some updates for you guys. Yesterday I had such an awesome routine practice. I went over to my tumbling gym and I was able to just warm up my routine, and then I ran it full out 3 times. I did everything but my running tumbling pass. So I feel really good about that. And then today is going to be my hardwood floor practice. So I'm here at Crunch in Allen, and I'm going to be running it in halves. I'm going to do each half twice, but the first half will be a little bit longer than just, you know, exactly a half, just because I'm trying to build up the endurance on the hard floor too. But today's not really about beating up my body. It's just about getting some additional reps in on a hard floor and just playing add-on to the routine. So 7 and 11 weeks out, I feel pretty good about where my endurance is. Obviously, I want to just continue to tick it forward so that come show day, it's the best it's ever been, and that I can spend the last few weeks just really nailing in some of the details on the routine. Earlier this week, I felt just really low energy, so it's been nice. Justin's kind of moved my food around to give me more food on a Friday so that I have more energy going into the weekends to be able to practice, since this is so important. Overall, I'm feeling good with the routine. My ankle is doing really well. I'm still going to be wearing a brace and still getting treatment and going to physical therapy just to make sure that, you know, I'm checking all the boxes. I'm not going to put myself at risk to re-injure it or anything like that. And then once I get finished with routine, I'm going to do a little bit of HIIT cardio and maybe sit in the sauna for a little bit if I have time. Later today, I will film my weekly recap that you guys will probably see in the next clip after this. And then I will be announcing on Instagram the giveaway winner. So if you did enter, I will be tagging the winner and reaching out to them to be able to mail them their goodies. So fingers crossed for another good practice, but I will keep you guys updated in the weekly recap. So, I am going to show you guys how I make my tilapia. So I've been eating a lot of fish and chicken, as you can imagine. And if you don't have an air fryer is seriously just a game changer with how quickly you can make your food. So I will get these just tilapia fillets that are frozen and put them in, and they're ready to go in about 18 minutes. So it's nice to not have to eat old fish if you're making it in the oven and you're making a bunch at once. I usually just throw it in every day so that I can eat it hot, fresh, and it, like texture wise, like it's great. It's like, you know, crumbly fish to me is just like disgusting. So I use these silicone, I got these on Amazon, and what I'm gonna do is just throw in like 2 fillets at a time. I just season them while they're frozen and then pop it in there and then just kind of go from there. If you don't use kitchen scissors, I don't know how you make it through life. I will use kitchen scissors literally to open everything, and then also just when I'm prepping out or measuring out my chicken, just to go ahead and cut it up and have it in little bite-sized pieces versus having to cut it after it's already cooked. Also too, just like if you are busy during the day and you need to come home and make a meal, an air fryer is gonna save you a lot of time because you can put in, you know, chicken thighs, you really can put your beef in here, your fish, whatever it is, like your main course, and then it's ready so fast. In here, and then I'm just going to turn it on, press air fry, and start. And then in 18 minutes, I'm going to have my next meal. Easy. Okay, so I'm bringing you my weekly recap from the pool today. Like I had mentioned, I did not do the best job filming this week, and part of that's just because we're getting so deep into prep. So just to kind of recap everything that went on this week with all the variables. So training has still been going really, really good. Still on a 4-day split. So it is back, legs, push, and posterior chain. I am continuing to be able to do more and more of my leg movements that are in my program. So I can be more weight bearing on my foot again, and I'm not having really any issues with my ankle. I'm still wearing a brace when I'm doing, you know, my lifts or my cardio and my fitness routine practice, but that's more of just a precautionary thing. I'm out of it when I'm out walking around and I feel comfortable and it feels strong. So that's all been going really well. I haven't noticed any decline in any of my lifts or my strength. Yeah, energy has dipped here and there, but overall, the gym's been feeling really good. For cardio, right now I'm doing 5 sessions that are 35 minutes of steady state cardio. And we're doing that fasted in the morning. 2 of those, Justin asked to be on the stairs. So we're just trying to increase my output a little bit. And then I'm still doing 2 15-minute HIIT sessions. And the HIIT is really to continue to work on my endurance. So it's trying to keep my heart rate in that like 165, 170 space for that 15 minutes. And again, for me, that is really good to help my endurance for the routine training. As far as nutrition goes, right now we're still doing a carb cycle. We're doing 4 low, 1 moderate day. And then again this week, Justin gave me an extra moderate day on Friday, the day before my routine practice, so that I was having more energy for my routine.
So that seems to be working well. I'm not having as many spikes in my weight after the moderate day. So my low weight, I hit it on Friday. We had a moderate day. I was up a little bit, like 0.6 or 0.8 on Saturday. And then I was back down at my low this morning, and I will pop my check-ins here. So right now I'm sitting at 132.8, which feels good. We've been losing about a pound a week, maybe a little, maybe every 8-9 days for the pound. But as long as we're still pacing for the pound a week, we'll feel pretty on track, because I'm still 7 weeks out from Oklahoma, so 6 weeks to peak week. If I lost 6 pounds before peak week, I would feel pretty lean because I already am feeling pretty lean. But so that's all been feeling really good. I let you guys know that I had a really good routine practice on Saturday. My practice today didn't go as great. I just didn't have as much energy today. But it was still just to get the reps in, do it on the hardwood floor. I didn't try to push it too much. And then I turned around and did my hit. So I think just adding in that second practice, even if one of my practices is really good and one isn't as great, the additional reps is just going to really, really help as far as routine goes. And then as far as this past week, it was mostly just training. I got adjusted on Wednesday, or on Tuesday. Wednesday, I had physical therapy. And that was really all that was going on this week. As far as like my appointments and stuff go, I picked up my friend Jess, and so we've been hanging out all this weekend, and that's been really fun. This upcoming week, I feel like it's a little bit hectic. I have something almost every day this week. I am going to be onboarding with a coaching team, High Fitness. So I'm going to start that process tomorrow. I'm super excited. They're going to, just to be able to join a team and just kind of have the guidance through launching the online coaching platform is going to be really exciting. So I will be discussing probably more about that coming up. And then Tuesday, I do have a photo shoot, and then I will take Jess to the airport. Wednesday, I have my costume fitting, so I'm super excited to see where the costume's at. And then I'm also going to have physical therapy on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I am starting my posing lessons. So this is the first year I've ever really hired a posing coach, but I'm going to be working with Christina out of the Dragon Slayer. And I'm super excited just to see where we can take my posing. Posing for fit. My category is going to be, 1/3 of the score, but I'm really, really trying to bring an all-time best for the physique round and put myself in a position to be ahead going into routine, just because I kind of assume that like one's going to be Taylor, two's going to be Jacqueline, and I'm really just trying to be as close to that as possible and put myself in the best position to still have a great outcome at the Olympia and at Oklahoma. But mainly, my focus is Olympia. So this week's definitely going to be busy. And then next Sunday, I will be leaving for Florida for a few days. So that's super exciting. And then it's going to be Texas Pro, and Justin's going to be in town. So we're going to have a lot of moving parts the next couple weeks. But I feel good about where we're at. Everything seems to just be, moving right along. I feel good about where my endurance is at routine-wise. And now it's just getting that to transition over onto the hardwood floor and just make sure that my endurance is at an all-time best. For me, this routine is, very much still my style, the high energy style, but I am stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit and just really diving into the theatrics of the performance, the musicality, and all of those things, just the little details. So I feel good about where everything is at. I am really excited just to see how everything continues to unfold. I definitely have had those dips in energy, but overall, I feel good about where I'm at mentally, physically, how the physique is looking, how the routine's coming together. And I'm really just trying to take it one day at a time now that we're this close. It's really, really hard to be motivated, and it's discipline, but it's that for me, the last 7 weeks, one of those is going to be peak week, so 6 weeks of work until the first showing of the year, and I'm excited to get on stage and just kind of get the cobwebs off, get a dry run under my belt before Olympia. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I will try to do better this week with reporting for you guys, but thanks for following along.